the greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. Some out of the past come a wondering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Andy has just told his friends, Amos, the Kingfish, and Van Porter, that he's finally decided, after many bitter experiences, that women no longer have a place in his life.
There are blues that you get from loneliness, and there are blues that you get from pain, and there are blues when you are lonely, for you're one and only, the blues you can never explain. And there are blues that you get from sleepless nights, oh, but the meanest blues that be, they're blues that I've got on my mind. I mean the ones that are the meanest kind. That is not as sweet a gift to me. Let's hear it now. Swimming and you haven't got a bathing suit to sell. And after you get quicker when you drink a lot of liquor and somebody goes and takes it off the shelf. And after you get when everything's in hot, when your girlfriend doesn't ask when you're not. And after you get getting in a taxi cab fretting every time you hear the bumper jump cloud. And after you get trying to keep your uncle from dying and you afterwards forget you in his will. And after you get kissed when you're walking with your missus and another baby shouts, "Hi, Bill!" But the blues that make you hot and want to stop and take a chip. Here's the blues that want to make you go and hand in the river. The blues might not have sweet as gift to me. Oh yeah, this blues might sweet as gift to me.
Now wait a minute, Henry. Why has you got to say that you was all women? Me and Henry are just here to go to swell gal, just the kind you've been looking for.
Yes, that's right, Andy. She's made a wonderful wife for you.
Listen, fellas, let me tell you all something. I still like gals, but I just don't want to marry none of them.
Oh, what you want to do is to kind of go up with them but not marry them, huh?
That's right. After all, just because a fellow likes bread, he ain't got to buy no bakery.
And you got the wrong slant on the whole thing.
Listen, gentlemen, it ain't no use. I done closed my mind on the whole idea. I just ain't interested in marrying no women of the opposite sex.
Say, gang, have you ever stopped to think of this? You might be a dunk. Do you know what a dunk is? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you. A dunk is a fellow or girl who takes chances. And believe me, that's not a good thing to do. Yes, sir, dunks are just plain foolish. Every year, thousands of dunks are hurt just because they're dunks. They run out in the street without looking both ways. They go swimming in deep water alone. They do all sorts of things they shouldn't do. And they pay for it, too. Don't you be a dunk. Don't take chances. Play safe, and you'll be able to keep right on playing. Act like a dunk, and you won't be able to do all the things that are so much fun to do. Remember, look both ways before you cross the street. Never, never step off the curb until you know the coast is clear. It only takes a second, and it may mean the difference between a summer filled with fun and months in bed. Don't be a dunk. Don't take chances. Remember, all the time, everywhere, be cautious. Take care.
cry. What makes my baby cry? You know I love nobody but you. Now I'm true. There's another woman who do. I wish I only knew what makes my baby blue. For my heart, my darling dies, that makes my baby cry.
Don't be a dump. Don't take chances.
I used to live in a street called 93rd Street, and there was a girl there that I was stuck on. She was almost 15 years old, and I used to go out every morning and buy bread for my mother. And I used to get the stale bread because it was 4 cents, and the regular bread was 5 cents. So in no time at all, about 4 months, I had saved 70 cents. And I was stuck on Annie Burger. She had a great pair of legs, and I used to watch her walk upstairs. She lived on the floor above us. So one day, after I had the 70 cents, I said, why don't I take you to the theater? I had it all figured out. 10-cent car fare for 2, 10 cents for car fare coming back, and 50 cents for 2 seats in the 3rd gallery. Well, when we got to the theater, it was Hammerstein's Victoria Theater, there was a fellow selling sauerkraut candy in front of the theater, and it was a nickel bag. And he said, gee, I'd love to have some of that sauerkraut candy. Well, I only had 10 cents left by this time. So I bought her a bag of this candy. Now we're sitting in the gallery so high, you couldn't even see the actors. And she starts eating the sauerkraut candy. And I can hear her, and I can't hear the actors on the stage. And I could have killed her. I thought she'd offer me a piece. But she didn't. So when the show was over, by this time she consumed all the candy. And we got outside, and I said, Annie, it was cold. It was real cold. It had been snowing all that day. I said, look, you had sauerkraut candy, didn't you? You never offered me a piece of the candy, did you? Now, I only have 5 cents left, and we got to go all the way to 93rd Street. Now, look, I care a great deal about you, but I don't want to walk to 93rd Street. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll toss the coin out, this nickel that I have left, and you holler heads or tails. She hollered heads, she came down tails, and she walked home. I didn't see her again for 10 years.
delicious spoonful of Cheerios and milk is a real muscle-building food. Each spoonful contains vitamins, minerals, and proteins your body needs. Yes, the good things in a Cheerios breakfast do good things for your body. Help you have healthy nerves, good red blood, strong bones, and muscles. Have Cheerios every morning. Then you'll hear people say,
he's feeling his Cheerios.
Directed by Charles D. Livingston and edited by Frank Stryker. The part of the Lone Ranger is played by Grace Beamer. Your announcer, Fred Boyd.